I'm making something that might sound really strange, which is an egg curry. Even saying it out loud sounds really funny, but it's one of these things we always make when we have lots of eggs that are normally going, towards the expiry date. You've got loads of eggs left and you panic and you think, what should I do with them? Most Indians make egg curry, or well, I do anyway, and it's delicious. It's a really good staple in our house, especially when you don't have meat or any vegetables, you've got nothing to make, you make an egg curry. And recently you haven't been able to get eggs as frequently, so I've always thought, oh my god, I'm craving an egg curry. It's funny, you always want something that you can't always get. So I'm gonna make egg curry today and show you how delightful it is actually. So a pan like this, you want something quite wide, because all we're gonna do is put all these boiled eggs into the curry sauce. And you want them to sort of not bunch together, you want them to sit quite happily in a wide pan like this. So here we go. This is a really nice Halved non-stick pan. I love these pans. They are amazing on my induction, and just a nice weight and a lovely handle. So I've gone in with about 2 tablespoons of oil there, and then I'm going to temper my oil. And this curry base, the really nice thing about it is you can actually use it for chicken, chickpeas. You can use it as a curry sauce for a lot of things you want to chuck in. So it's a very basic curry based recipe. So into my oil, I'm going in with 1 cinnamon stick. I'm going in with 5 cardamon pods, 5 cloves, and 5 peppercorns. That is going to flavour my oil really nicely. And if you've watched a bit of my videos, I talk about layering of flavours. So here we are. We're flavouring the oil. We're creating the first level of flavour. Once that's gone in and you can hear that sizzling, that means your curry is already getting flavoured. And with the cardamom pods, I just click it a little bit, so you just open them up very slightly so it flavours your oil. That's done. Then I'm going in with 2 medium, very finely diced onions. And with the onions, you need to give them some love. So, cook them out on a nice medium heat. If you have the time, sort of wait here for a good 15-20 minutes, I would say, to gently brown them to really nice golden brown. If you don't have the time, whack up the heat, but don't take your eyes off them, be very close to them, and you should have them done in about 5 to 10 minutes, providing you are constantly stirring. So, there we go. And so now my onions are looking nice and brown, like that. I mean, I would go even further than that if this was a meat curry or a chicken curry, but I can get away with that for the eggs. As I was going along, I was adding a little bit more oil, because the onions will absorb a lot of oil, but I don't like to put a lot of oil in initially. I like to add it as I go, because if you can control your oil intake, it's always good, and I don't want a very oily curry. So, now that's done, my second base layer, actually my third. My first was my whole spices, my second was my onions, my third is my ginger garlic paste. Here we go, my ginger garlic paste, which is in my stay home highlights. Everyone's been asking, how do you make it, where is it? I've got a little method in my stay home highlights. So I'm going in with 3 teaspoons of my ginger garlic paste, and I've got 2 green chillies chopped up in here too. And give that a stir, and that's your third base layer. Turn your heat down a little bit when you add that on. It doesn't need, because it's so delicate, it doesn't need a wash heat, it just needs a delicate heat, because it is cooked very quickly. So there you go, that's my ginger garlic done. You don't need long at all. Then you go in with your dry spices. Here we go, stage 4. Cumin and coriander powder. I buy a mix. I'm putting in 1, 2, 3, 4 teaspoons of cumin and coriander, which is mixed together. If you've got them separate, then you're adding 2 teaspoons of cumin and 2 teaspoons of coriander. God, doing these videos made me realise I just can't speak. I need to learn how to speak. It really is a tongue twister some of these days. Okay, and then that's gone in. I'm going to go with my turmeric, half a teaspoon of turmeric, and just like a pinch of a little bit of curry powder. I would say, not curry powder, red Kashmiri chili powder. I'd say about 1/4, and that's just to give it a little bit of a nice colour. Because I've got the green chilies in there, which will provide the freshness, I don't need too much of that. And then, of course, some salt for your seasoning. And I'm putting in about a teaspoon there. Or to taste. So, once you get to that stage where you've got this really dry masala, see? Almost looks like it's all soaked up, everything, all your onions, your garlic, and everything's in there. That's when you're going with your liquid. So you've done all your base layers, it's ready for your liquid. And this is just a tin of plum tomatoes, which have been whizzed up in my food processor, and I'm going to put it in half. So I buy the 400ml one, so I'm only going to put in 200ml, which is half. Put that in. That's about half. See? No, I don't measure. All estimate, guesstimate. This is how my mum taught me. And it used to always annoy me because they used to say, how much? Just go this much. Now I'm doing it. So, put in your tomatoes. And then another little thing I like with eggs is any sort of greens. You can put in peas, you can put in like fenugreek, but what I like is this spinach. Frozen spinach pellets that you get like this are amazing. Buy them, put them in your freezer, put them in everything from risottos, pasta to curry. I'm just going to put 2 of these spinach pellets, and look, they'll just blend into the sauce, and you've got an extra veg there because you've got your protein already. I always think about what veg I'm going to have. Although I am going to make a cucumber on the side, which is like a salad of like cucumbers, tomatoes, onions. I'll have that on the side. Having some spinach in there as well is really nice, but it's not essential. So I'll just let that cook off. And while that's cooking off, I'll put a little bit of water in there. And that needs about 10 minutes or so for the tomatoes to cook out. As it's been cooking off, like you might think, how long do I need to cook it for? When is it cooked? You know, it depends on the temperature of your hob as well. But generally, when you can see a little bit of oil starting to seep on the surface of the masala, it means your masala has cooked, because it has the ability to separate the oil from the spices and everything else you've put in there. So I can see from the edges now, I'm starting to see all the oil rising to the top. That's when I know it's ready. Also, as I was cooking it, I thought, oh, it needed a little bit more tomato, so I did put a little bit more tomato in. And at this stage, I'm going to put a little bit more water in as well, because I know all my spices are cooked out. So I'll have a nice gravy. So here you go. Here's my tomatoey spinach gravy. And please, you don't feel like you have to put in spinach. I've just put it in, but you don't have to. You can just keep this as a tomatoey, oniony gravy, which is a great base, as I said, for chicken, chickpeas, lamb, anything. You can make a lot of curries in there, fish. Now, I've got my main masala base. I go in with the eggs. Forget everything that people have taught you about the perfect soft-boiled eggs. Cook these to death until they're hard like this. You need hard-boiled eggs. I cooked these for about 10 to 12 minutes. You need them very hard for this curry because they're sort of cooking again in here, but you don't want them to break up. You want some body. So I'm putting my eggs in here. It's a really sort of frugal dish as well. It's so good to on the pocket because it's so cheap. So I'm putting my eggs in there, and then I am being gentle with it because they are still quite delicate little things. So just coat it with the masala like that. My egg and spinach. If you haven't watched some of my earlier videos, I've done a baked bean curry as well. So there you go. We love to curry-fry anything. The baked bean curry is a classic as well in my house with some chapatis. And so what I'm going to do is let that cook for another sort of 10 minutes just to get the masalas infused into all that flavour. If you feel at any stage you do need a little bit more water, it needs a bit more liquid, just add it at this stage. But that looks pretty done to me, and that will cook for another sort of 7 to 10 minutes just to make sure it's combined, and then I will garnish this with some coriander. And it is lovely mopped up with some fresh chapatis, or my naan bread that you've seen on my videos, the 2-minute naan. The fresh chapatis here I made a bit earlier, and I am going to do a masterclass of how to make chapatis. And yeah, there's a little salad on the side. That's it. Egg curry.